Hi, I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about what these readings usually entail and what they're about. Well, not so much what they're about because that differs so much, but okay. So you'll need a pad and paper, and that's pretty much all you'll need, because what happens is I get on the phone and I give you a call, and then I can do a number of different things. Number one, the first thing is that I do an old ancient Chinese healing modality called Qigong, and that consists of me scanning your energy field, and I look for emotional blockages, and then I get intuitive guidance from your guides as well as my guides, and we try to figure out, I try to interpret the messages that I get, and then they can be visions, feelings, sounds, all kinds of different sensations come through, and I just interpret that information for you. And then when I have, when you and I have worked together to figure out what it is that needs to be addressed, then it disappears. The symbol or the color or whatever I'm seeing disappears. So it's really cool, and it's kind of fun to go through that process. I can also talk to pets, and they don't need to be there. People who've passed away, help you with relationship dynamics, and help you to make decisions. And those are all different processes, but all very much interchangeable. So you might decide you want to know what's going on with your work situation, the kind of people you're dealing with, whether that's the place you should really be at. Or you might be the CEO of a company and you want to know what's going on with some of the employees, and you want to know their attitudes toward the company, or who's committed, who's maybe manipulating and lying, things like that. You might also have somebody who's passed away, or a pet that's passed away, or a pet you currently have that's going through some kind of an experience where it's at the vet's office and they're not quite sure what's going wrong. And so I can scan the energy field of the animal and feel its pain for you. I can feel what it's going through and get a sense of, like, help you narrow it down, what exactly is going on. So in terms of relationship dynamics, I can tune into somebody and just get a sense of who they are, and I can pretty accurately describe to you the kind of person that they are, what they're about, what they stand for. You can ask questions about them, and I can give you a pretty good idea of the kind of person they are and answer your questions, such as, what's their level of integrity? Are they pretty honest people? Are they, are they apt to go into a fit of rage? Just any question that comes to your mind, we could look into that for you. In terms of making a decision, that's a whole different process I would have to describe to you at the time, but it's like a multiple choice answer. So I try to figure it out through this process that I do. Anyway, so those are the different ways in which this reading could go. You can use any or all of it. I can just do the scan on you and see what I see in your field if you want to just do that, or I can spend the entire time going into all the different relationships of your life and what's happening with everybody around you, maybe even somebody you haven't talked to for a really long time. You just want to know what they're up to. I could let you know that. I don't do anything against anybody's free will, so I can't do any healings on anybody. I can definitely send them blessings for you. I can, in fact, that's one of the services I provide as well, is I do some light language on any situation. Typically I do a blessing at the end of every reading, and it could be just an energetic blessing, or it could be a light language blessing. I let Spirit tell me what to do at the end, but it's a blessing that encompasses everything that we talked about throughout the session, or through the session. So also keep in mind that obviously your first session is half off. After that, whenever you refer somebody, you also get another 50% off every time, or each time that you refer somebody. So that's pretty cool too to keep in mind. If you want to check out my classes, obviously click on the classes tab on my website. So other than that, don't worry about it. Just relax. It's going to go great. We're going to have fun. I promise. And I've seen a lot. There isn't anything that will throw me. So, you know, nothing to worry about. And I'm not one of those people who would tell you something really negative, like you're going to die, or like, so your partner's going to die, or something like that. I mean, that's just silly information to give you. And the spirits that I work with and your guardians would not want you to have that kind of information anyway. And if there was something to warn you about, they would be wanting to give me the tools to help you with it, and it would be most likely something more mild. I've even had somebody ask me to tell them when they're going to die, and I said, okay, all right. And we went back and forth on this for a long time, because I said, it'll really play with your head. So I really don't want it to do that. And he was insisting and insisting. And then finally I just laughed and I said, all right, 6. I'm getting a 6. That could be 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. And he just rolled his eyes. He was like, ah. So, yeah, I'm not one of those negative fortune tellers who say, watch out, here something's gonna happen. You know, I might be able to, if you're the owner of a company or something, and you know that something's coming, and you're just wondering which people to lay off or anything like that too. I can read into stuff that you do want to know about, but I'm really careful because, oh, and that's the other thing. Okay, so when it comes to predicting the future or anything like that, I'm more about your personal development, your spiritual development, you realizing who you really are, your beingness underneath it. So if I do tell you something about your future, I want you to keep in mind too that there are many different parallel realities, and we jump track pretty frequently when we are malleable people who have awarenesses and epiphanies on a regular basis every day. We're constantly shifting our reality. So there's a high degree of probability a lot of the things that I tell you will come true, but don't completely depend on it, and realize that if you're growing and maturing a lot all the time, it really changes things. So just keep that in mind. There are variable factors. It's not like I can totally predict your future or everything 100% accurately. This is an intuitive thing, and ultimately my disclaimer is that this is for entertainment purposes only. And I can't give medical advice technically, but shoot, if I see an image of a lemon in my mind when you're asking about an ailment or something, then I'll certainly tell you about that. Also, when I'm looking into physical ailments, I didn't mention that earlier, because if you have a physical ailment, I'll take a look at what the emotional cause might be underneath that ailment. And in such a case, I'm just careful about the advice I give you, and I just want you to also know that it's best for you to go see a doctor or some professional about that issue rather than listen to my advice. So just take whatever I say when it comes to any kind of medical issue with a grain of salt. Anyway, so I'm trying to think of anything else that happens during these sessions that might surprise you, or I think you're pretty equipped now. So it's just if you've made your appointment, or I think what I'm going to do is include this video in the intro email that I give you after you've placed an order, which would probably mean that you've got the link to my scheduler above or around this video, connected to this video somehow. So just go to the scheduler, schedule, and select your own time zone. It makes it really easy for you. If you have trouble, of course, let me know. And I will call you at our designated time. Sometimes I run a few minutes late, not usually too bad. I apologize if that does happen. So please leave just a few minutes in, because sometimes I'm completely booked back to back, and it's kind of hard when I'm doing a blessing or something at the end, if it takes a little bit longer, to be right on time. Okay, well, I think that's it, and I look forward to talking to you soon. All right, bye.